All right, so we're going to be looking at intercepts. So the x-intercept is the x-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the x-axis. So the x-intercept is the x-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the x-axis. So if we look at this particular graph right here, where does this line intersect the x-axis? And it intersects right here. This is the x-axis, so the line intersects right here. So this ends up being our intercept. Now it says the x-coordinate of the point. So it intersects in a point, right? So what is that point? What is that ordered pair? That ordered pair is -2, 0, right? This is it says the x-coordinate of the point. The x-coordinate is x. Is right here, it's -2. And this is the y-coordinate right here, which is 0. So when it says find the x and the y-intercepts, the x-intercept equals -2, and it is at the point -2, 0. And the thing that we always know about the x-intercept is that y is always going to be 0. So we always know that y equals 0 for every single x-intercept. Okay, so that's something super, super important to remember. For every x-intercept, we know that y is equal to 0. Okay, perfect. Let's look at the next thing. It says the y-intercept is the y-coordinate of the point where the graph intersects the y-axis. Okay, so let's look at this line and see where it intersects the y-axis. Well, it intersects right here. There's the y-axis. The line intersects the y-axis right there. What is the point? The point is 0, 4. And this says it's the y-coordinate. So the y-coordinate, right, this is x and this is y. So that means our y-intercept is 4. So our y-intercept is equal to +4, or the y-intercept is at the point 0, 4. And what do we always know about our y-intercept? Well, for our y-intercept, x is always going to equal 0. Okay, so that's just something that you really need to memorize. For every y-intercept, we are going to know that x will always equal 0. All right, perfect. Let's go ahead and look at our first example. So we're just going to find the x and the y-intercept looking at this graph. So the x-intercept is where this line intersects the x-axis, which is right there. So it intersects at 3, so that means that our x-intercept equals 3, and that's at the point 3, 0, and notice that y is equal to 0. Okay, so that's our x-intercept. And then our y-intercept would be where the graph intersects the y-axis, which would be right there at -3. So that means our y-intercept is equal to -3. Which is the point 0, -3, and notice again, x is equal to 0. So that is our x-intercept and our y-intercept. All right, let's look at number 2, and I want you to try to work out number 2 on your own. So go ahead and pause, work it out. When you get done, press play, and we'll talk about it. All right, let's see how you did. So you have to talk about the x-intercept first, right? The x-intercept is where this line intersects the x-axis, which is right here. So your x-intercept would be -1, which is the point -1, 0. You would never put x equals -1. Okay, so don't write it like this. You don't write your answer like that. So if you wrote that, erase that and write x-intercept equals -1 and then write the ordered pair underneath it. Okay, x equals -1, remember that is a vertical line, okay? So that x equals -1 has a meaning, and you're not talking about the whole line when x is equal to -1. You're just talking about where it intercepts the x-axis, which is a singular point. So that's why you have to say x-intercept equals -1 or write the ordered pair there. Okay, perfect. What about the y-intercept? So the y-intercept is right here at -2, So if you put y-intercept equals -2, and then you put the point 0, -2, you would be correct. So great work, and I'll see you in a little bit with the next example.